Is it on? Thanks, monkey. Good evening, welcome to the Craft Cave and welcome to Saturday Night Live. Sorry it's a couple of minutes or a minute or so late in starting. It's because there are some internet problems here, so please bear with us. I think it's to do with the weather. We've had, it's supposed to be thunderstorms, but we haven't had thunderstorms. We've had we've just had massive rain things. So if the signal's not working right, I am really sorry. Oh, Sally Ann Green, I can see your comment on YouTube because I can't see them on Facebook at the moment, saying, evening everyone, I'm looking for some inspiration. That's what we're here for. It's part of what we're trying to do. So if it is running a little bit slow, I am really sorry, guys. We are trying. So good evening, Alison. Good evening, Craftaholic. Good evening, Julie. No, it's not letting me go any further. It's just crashing. So I hope you can see me. At the moment, I can't, but the software is telling me that you can. So I'm hoping you can. So if you can see me, say hello and let me know you can. If not, and you can just hear my voice over the screen, I'm really sorry. That has been taken off. But it's very bizarre. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to start as normal. So Saturday Night Live is about demonstrations and inspiration, and it's also all about, yeah, I think it is running on a really slow delay. So if you ask a question and I'm not answering, then it is because it's on a really slow delay. Due to the internet issues I think we've got up here in the north. You've probably had a lovely warm day. We've still got lots of, it's still 19 degrees, but it's still been really hot. And it just looks as if it's recycling through. So I'm just going to try YouTube and see what's happening. So if you are seeing me, I hope it's okay. So what are we doing tonight? Eric has just said, evening, John and Sam. Can't believe that it's a week since Doncaster. I thought it was like yesterday, and then I thought it was like longer. It's crazy. So what are we doing tonight? Tonight we've got another amazing deal from Find It Media. This is a really good one. And this one is basically, I'm just going to try and go back on because I'm not seeing it. I hope you're seeing it. This is an amazing deal, and I've got to tell you, because we put it out earlier, over half of this has already gone, and this is an amazing bargain. This is £16.85. And Karen says, yeah, we'll stop starting. Says it's going okay, but there's not a great deal I can do. I'm going to go through as normal because obviously this will be recorded, and it is recorded for YouTube, so you should be able to catch up on YouTube. But it does seem to keep, yeah, it is stopping and starting, guys, and I don't know what to do. Oh, someone said it was trickling down in Brighton. So this is tonight's bundle. Look at that. That is the most beautiful die I've ever seen. So that is the most beautiful die I think I've ever seen. It cuts absolutely gorgeous. And I've got to show you this one. This is a non-Christmas I made with it. And this was my first idea, but this was the last idea. So yeah, what you're basically seeing is, what you're seeing, guys, is about 2 minutes behind what we're putting out, because I'm only just getting people saying that people can hear and see me. So hopefully it's sorted, but you are a couple of minutes behind. So that, isn't that, I mean, it's supposed to be Christmas. That to me is a beautiful mandala pattern. It's just gorgeous, and it cuts first time. I will show you how it cuts. Yeah, again, Alison, I can understand we are having, there are obviously some internet problems across the country, to be honest. Sam just got in from work and he said theirs was down as well. So it's been a bit of a nightmare, but it seems to be running okay now. I'm just going to go again and check YouTube, and YouTube is running and is a little bit more up to date. So yeah, I don't know what's going on and why it's doing it. We think it's the internet that's doing it. Yeah, and nothing seems to be wanting to work properly at all. Sorry, there we go. So yeah, let's put that on. So this first bundle, I will get on and demo in a minute. I think it has caught up with us now. Looking at it on Facebook, it seems to have caught up. So yeah, sorry if it is going a little bit slow. Samantha Hughes got my pack for the Zoom workshop next Saturday. It looks great. It is a wonderful project. I will tell you about it at the end, because there is still time. It's next Saturday, I believe. So if you get your order in for it before sort of end of day Tuesday, you will get it in time. They will make sure you get it in time. The Zoom class is lovely. There's especially, if you notice in there, Samantha, you've got some lights and some new ones where you press a button and they come on. It's brilliant. So this bundle, as I said, is amazing. You're going to get 4 die sets. So you're going to get 4 whole die sets in here. So you're going to get that beautiful mandala. You're going to get the 4 snowflakes, which come as a set, but look at the size of them. They're really big. The 2 ones are really big, and each one, that's more like a mandala than a snowflake. In fact, let me show you one of the pieces I've got cut here, because look at that. I wouldn't even call that a snowflake. That's a flower. Oh, Linda said she bought the bundle and the frame this afternoon. Yes, there is a frame. Good evening, Julia. Then there's the corner. Then there is that's called I think that's called a swirl, and that's called the corner. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to take you through some samples. So I showed you that one, and I have used some of Leslie's donated hat pins. They're not mine in that one. Here's another one of that one, just cut. But look, the shine on the mirror card. To cut something like that and so fine is just amazing. It is gorgeous. Then we've got this one. I'm going to switch some lights on, because I thought this would be perfect for lights, and them shining out of that snowflake in the center. Just absolutely gorgeous. And of course, we've got those swirls on either corner. So similar to idea to what I was doing on Wednesday, but I think it is lovely. And of course, it could be used all year round, genuinely. Then we've got this one. You've got to have a bit of glitter. But the snowflakes, and then those 2 corners on there, absolutely gorgeous. So it is really, really delicate. So it's all from Winter Flowers. Show you the packaging. I normally put them in. So it's the Winter Flowers collection. But you can also, if you get, there is a matching frame. Now, I don't have the frame, but the frame is £6. So if you wanted to add the frame to it, it would make this £22.85, which would be free packaging and postage in the UK. So it's worth adding something else into this to get it over that £20. We're talking £16.85, £17.85, £18.85, £19.85. It's going to cost you £20 and something with P&P for this bundle. So if you add something in that takes it over £20, then you're going to get that item almost free. So make sure you put something in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So something worth around £4 and you'll get free and Pete. It really is worth it. The other options you can get, so you can get for £5.75, you can get that beautiful sort of star, and that is it's 5 inches by 5 inches. It is a massive die. You can get that free. Sorry, you can get that free. You can get that on its own. I'm getting confused with these internet problems. So you can get that on its own for just £5. Oh yes, I was looking at the lights, but love the die. Yeah, Samantha, the lights, they're really cool. I'll wait until you do the class. It's really worth it. You can also get that swirl on its own. So if you want to, you can get the swirl. So the swirl is just £4 on its own, and that is for that. And again, it is a big die. I'm going to measure this on my desk. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's over 4 inches long. So you're probably talking 4 1/4, nearly 4 1/2. That is a gorgeous piece. And again, show you it cut. It is absolutely stunning. Look at it, cut in mirror card, or our gloss card as we call it. I think that is just really stunning. So you can get that on its own if you want that on its own. And then finally, if you want the corner, and the corner I've used here on this card, let's get this the right way up. So if you want that corner on its own, but again, it's got snowflakes in it, but I've only just spotted them. Yeah, so I've only just spotted them. The corner, you can get that for just £3.90 if you want that. So this collection is just, I think it's beautiful. But at £16.85, it was originally a lot more. So where are we? What's our Erica said? What's everyone saying? I've been watching you on YouTube on the 5th birthday anniversary on her channel. You were doing a Christmas collection. Wish you still had the dies and stamps. You can always message me, Erica, and tell me which ones, and I'll let you know if we have or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click you over to see what's on the website. So I've put the link on, and let's just do that the right way. So I've put the link on for tonight's show, and if you go on to this link, because we've finally got this bit working again, if you go on to this link, it will take you to here. Oh, sorry. So the actual floral snowflake, I'm not surprised, that's sold out already. You can still get hold of the bundle. That's still available by the looks of things. Let's click through and check. Nope, my internet is running slow again here, which is a bit of a nightmare. I think there's something wrong up here due to the weather in Sheffield. You've got that frame, so you can get that snowflake flower frame. That's just £6, as I said. Or you can get for £4 the beautiful swirl, snowflake flower swirl it's called. There's the bundle. Yes, so that is still available. So you can see all the 4 dies you're going to get in that set. And you can get the winter corner as well. But if you are looking for anything else to actually add into your basket, and this is always worth looking at, click onto our clearance sale section, because in there you might see items that we've done before that we've just got a couple of spares on, but you've got items there, literally some amazing bundles in the clearance section. So it's always worth going through there to say, I'm not going to pay £3.49 for postage. I'm going to add, let's say I'm going to add those. Oh, they're really nice. I'm sorry, I'm shopping now as I go along. I'm going to add that Nellie's Choice shape dies at £4.35 in. So effectively, if I'm buying the bundle, that's only cost me less than £1, because you're going to pay £3.49. Oh, I didn't know we got the Vintasia left as well. I mean, a lot of these will be just singles that we've got, but anything you've missed out on or found. Oh, I like the Cupid. Sorry, I could keep doing this for hours, and I really, really shouldn't. But remember, always worth having a look in the clearance section to see if there's anything you fancy in there. So I'm going to go back to our bundle, and we're going to do a demonstration on it. So let's get you onto the overhead, which is a bit wonky for once. And I've already cut a lot of pieces, but I wanted to show you how beautifully these cut. So I'm going to go with the swirl to start with. So I'm just going to clear him out. And then I'm just going to take here. I'm using, I know, look, I mean, look, that's how good a sort of mirror it is. Look, there's me, hello. There's my phone, there's the roof, and there's the light. So these cut so well. So I'm going to put that down, but I'm also going to do the snowflakes as well, just to show you, because I think I might want 3 or 4 of these. And I haven't cleaned this out particularly well. But I know these are sort of very delicate dies that I would look at and go, ooh, they're a bit fine, aren't they? So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut them in normal card, because you're going to think, well, they're not going to cut anything fancy, not a 250 GSM sort of mirror card, or what do we call it? I've forgotten now. Gloss card, we call it, just so no one can accuse us of using the word mirry. So I'm just going to put that into my piece, into my die cutting machine, and run that through. Oh, our Jan Flat's on. Hey, crafty people. Hey, Jan. Everyone shout, hey, Jan. Because she's hate us. So, okay. But look, every single bit of these is cut. And I don't need to do any tricks. Now, sometimes, if you're struggling and you're cutting a coated card like this, and you're really struggling, the thing to do is to cut down into a metal shim. But these dies, look, are so good, they don't need it. Every single bit is coming out. And that's one of the ways that we test, Sam and I, when we get new dies in and new samples in. It's one of the ways we actually test them, is to cut them in something that's not easy to cut. And that tells us how good they are then at that point. So you make them do the hardest job you're going to ask them to do at home. That's the best way. So I'm just taking all of these little pieces out. And of course, I didn't clean the die out properly, which doesn't help at all. So here we go. Let's get those bits out. So you can see there, and even all of these little circles in here come out. So you can see, I mean, literally every single bit. So the bundle is £16.85, and that gets you the whole thing, just to answer your question, Beverly. But the snowflakes now, because these are the ones you're going to say, ooh, you know, these are going to be a nightmare. Look, let's flick that one out. So this die wasn't even actually cleaned out. Look, it's still got pieces in it. But every single bit's come out. But I thought these would make the most amazing, almost flowers on their own. They don't have to be Christmassy at all. So let's take our snowflake out. Here we go. And always remember, when you're taking one of these out, when it's got points on it, go into 3 or 4 places. Yeah? Because if you pull just one, you're going to pull that off. But that is so delicate. It really is. And let's take the mandala-y one out. I never know which hole to push. So what I do is this. A lot of the time, when there's so many holes to prick it out, and I'm not sure which one to push, I will actually take my 4-in-1 poker tool and poke it in and lift the card up, giving me a little bit to be able to pull it out. I mean, I don't need to clean all these out because I've already got these cut and prepped for this. But, you know, hey-ho, it's worth it. So, there we go. Let's get all of those bits out. So you've got your pieces absolutely gorgeously straight away and really easily falling out of the die. I will show you the larger one cutting. We are going to make something with that as well. Probably keeping to this colour theme because I'm absolutely loving this sapphire blue theme. I think it's stunning. So again, take that one out. Look how delicate that one is. I mean, it's just, they're like little embellishments, but the big ones are so big. They're normally never really that big. So let's just clear down my desk, and I should be careful. I've actually hoovered in here today and cleaned up the spray glue from the floor. So I'm trying not to get these bits onto the floor. Good evening, Anne. Good evening, Nicola. I'm sure you were watching earlier, Nicola. So let's just get these bits off. There we go. Right, so what I've actually done to start this, I've actually used my frame makers and I've made a frame. Because if I'm going to go with luxurious card, then I really want to make it shine. So I've used here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've used the 6-inch set of frame makers because, as you know, I keep all of my frame makers I'm going to use all the time, literally, on boards in the drawer next to me because I use them for nearly every card. So I've done that, and obviously I want to decorate the frame, but I want to use the snowflakes, and I want to actually have something that looks, you know, really, really nice. So one of the ideas I was going to show you is with the double-sided adhesive. And when I find the pack, there it is. So I've got an A4 piece of our double-sided adhesive here. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to kind of almost see a difference. So I'm going to grab, instead of going for, you know, something really obvious or going for our coconut white, which I've used because I'm going to glitter it, I'm just using a sheet of 300 GSM card. And then I tend to do this a lot. If you can, it's always easier to take off this slimy sheet. And I call it that because it's slippy on both sides. And then I go straight down to an A4 piece of card, and that will do me quite a few projects. So I know that my frame is 6 by 6. So I'm just going to bring my guillotine in, and I want it to be, so I'm going to go for 5.5 by 5.5. But you can see why I like to do and take the other side off, because it's so much easier. I know that this is card with double-sided on it. Yeah? So that's why I tend to do it that way, so I know I'm ready for the next time. So then I can take off the other connecting sheet, and I can add my snowflakes. And I'm just with, ooh, nearly missed. There's a bit missing in the middle. I'm just going to go with a bit in the middle. Just like that. And then I'm putting one. So I've cut this 3 times. So I'm putting one to one side like that. Don't they look like stickers? Nicholas says, fell in love with your samples with lights, so could not resist the bundle deal. The lights look fab with it. I'm hoping to find my lights, and I've struggled to find them. So I've just put through, and you can do this completely randomly. Obviously on one of the samples, I did it with silver on blue and went completely random. And I love that look. But I wanted to do here something a little bit more sort of fixed and patterny. So, one there. And then I'm going to put one there. And I'm just playing around and being a little bit more random with the other smaller snowflakes. Oh, Susan says no storm there, but internet's still dropping out. Facebook is really bad tonight. We'll have to watch fully on YouTube later. We'll watch as much as I can now. Bless you, Nicola. I know it's the internet, apparently. Sammy's just checked. The internet is playing up absolutely everywhere. I mean, YouTube is running at least 10 minutes behind where I am. Facebook is running a little bit more in time, but hopefully it will all record properly so that you can all sort of see it at the right time if you watch it back. Yeah, so there's been torrential rain up here. I read somewhere that a guy actually put on Reddit that he'd started yesterday with 8 water butts completely empty, half an hour before he wrote his post, which was probably about 3 o'clock, all 8 of them were full. So it could be my end. It's running okay as far as all my software is telling me, but I think it's Facebook either as YouTube properly. So sorry guys if it is my end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to glitter this. So you can glitter this with anything that you want to. I'm going to use some of our crystal snow. And the reason I'm using this is, number one, I absolutely adore this stuff. And number two, and I will get shot, and I really hope Jane isn't watching, this has been reordered. So if, like me, you are running out, or you've never had it before and you'd like some, because it is amazing stuff, it has been reordered. It is going to be a while, but it will be coming back. So, who said that one? What have we got here? Sorry. Oh, Nicola says, it's pouring with rain here. Husband's been burning wood because it's so muggy. Yes, completely. I can totally understand that. So you see there then, look. You can see why I love this stuff. Look at that sparkle. And it's all plastic. This was based on an American product, because we will always tell you where we've nicked an idea from, or where we've, who's inspired us or whatever. This came from an idea for an American product from years ago that was actually made of glass. And I used it once or twice and pricked myself with it. And so said no. And I said, there's got to be a better way of doing it. So now it is available as plastic. We are out of stock, but we have reordered it. So you can see there, I've got those beautiful blue snowflakes that keep their shine. But look at the shine coming from that card. And it's not shiny card. It's flat, no reflection, no shiny card. So it's a really good trick to do when you've got really nice snowflakes like this. It's a really nice trick. It's something that our Leslie does as a background a lot, to be honest. So I'm just going to pop that, and I'm going to frame that, and I'm framing those 3. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So you can see there we're framing that, but your eyes really dragged into these, and we want to offset it and settle it down. So I've got here a larger card blank, and this came from my scrap box of cards I've already made. Yeah. Oh, Barbara, oh my goodness, where have I been? Just scrolling and found you. I've missed seeing you, John, so much. We're here at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, Barbara. We're here on 6 o'clock on a Sunday with a new launch. And then we're here at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, I'm here at 6 o'clock each of those 3 nights with something different each time. So if you've just found us again, make sure you like and follow. And if you follow the page, what will happen, it will come into your Facebook notifications to say, oh, Art of Craft's gone live now. That happens if you follow, because I put this bit in. So I go in and I type in @followers. You might see it pop up. And that then sends a note out. Sam's already done it. But that actually sends a note out to anyone who follows us to say, oh, Art of Craft's live now, and you're somebody who likes them. So it's always worth doing that. So you can see here, we've got that. But I want to offset it. I need to balance it. So I've actually already cut 2 of the corners. But look how I can then extend out and follow that pattern in the middle. I mean, it's almost looking, with that mandala, it's almost looking Eastern. It's almost looking as if it's got full of Eastern promise. Wasn't that the Turkish Delight advert? Because that was my mum's absolute... I was only allowed chocolate on a Saturday night. I say that, I probably wasn't, but it's what I remember. And my mum or my dad would go to the shop. My dad would go and then go off to the pub. And he'd bring us back chocolate. And I'd have a Whisper or a Mint Aero if I was really lucky. And my mum would always have a Turkish Delight. And it's really funny, because I'm sure that was full of Eastern promise. I'm sure you can't say that anymore, sorry. And the funny thing is, Sam absolutely loves Turkish Delight. So it is quite strange. It's the one thing he shares with my mum, and a tolerance for me probably as well. Not a large one, but you know, a tolerance for me. You see that I've used a little bit of spray glue, and I'm just taking that little bit of out there. There we go. But just hanging it over like that. Wait until I sort of hold it up and show you. Just checking here. What have we got? Julie's just said the wind has completely just dropped off here. So you are watching, by the way, a good 3 or 4 minutes behind what I'm actually doing. So just so you're aware. So I'm following the same direction and linkage. So those 2 points there are those 2 points there. But if we look then, how expensive does that look? Of course, you can complete it if you want to, but I think it's too much. Karen, with the waste from the double-sided sheet, could you use it in place of wax paper when die cutting? I've never tried that, Karen. I will give that a go. I'm going to pull it back out of the bin, and I will give that a go for tomorrow, because I like to use wax paper with what we're launching tomorrow night. But if you can see here, let's show you. I know we're behind. Yeah, that's right. Look. I think that's got a real, genuine sparkle and 3D look to it. With that sort of crystal snow, can you imagine it with the crystal flower? And remember, if you missed last week, we have reordered last week's Christmas collection. So it is due to come back. However, be aware that the one we're launching tomorrow night, we're not reordering, so it is going to be fastest fingers first. We cannot go back to our manufacturers more than once or twice and say, can you send us these quickly, and can you remake them? Because they have to remade. They're my designs, so they're not off a shelf. Can you remake them? And then can you fly them in? And it costs a lot to fly them. So it's not something we can do very, very often. But I wanted to show you that because I think that is just really sublime. And I've only used 2 of the dies in that big bundle. So all I've actually used for that is mainly this one, the £4 one. So that's the only one I've used in this one. And then I've used the snowflakes. Now the snowflakes aren't available on their own. They're only available in that bundle. So if you can, get hold of them in the bundle. And I'm just checking to make sure. So the frame has now sold out. So has the snowflake on its own. And it looks like the bundle might have gone on its own. I'm really sorry, guys. Yeah, we do put so much on. Samantha Hughes says, I love your crystal snow. Always my go-to for special Christmas cards. It is for me. And literally, when I knew it was running out, so I have a bag here, and I'll be honest, it's in here because we've been testing, because that's easier to post than that. Just the same quantity. You wouldn't believe it, would you? But I order doubles just like our Nicola does. So that is I think that was the last pot in stock. I ordered and paid for the last pot in stock. But it is on reorder to come back, as is some of our satin and gloss card as well. Because I've been desperate for that to come back. So what I was going to do is I was going to show you, let's click onto here, how this cuts. So, you know, I know this is in the bundle and it is sold out as an individual, but I wanted to show you. And this is probably one of those things that I don't say very often. And where is it? Here we go. It's all about, to me, the right tool for the right job. And this is something I say an awful lot. And I know it can be quite boring. I love the 4-in-1 tool. I use it constantly. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I love it so much that there is my 401. And there is my second one because I don't like changing ends. So I have one, I actually have two I use all the time. I know that's not the idea, you're supposed to flip it round, but that's me. But when it comes to actually getting bits out of something as fine as this is where my trusty old pokey tool, and you'll notice the pokey bit doesn't work anymore on mine. Doesn't matter because I don't use it for that. I use the brush, and the brush is the best way to get all those little bits out of these detailed dies. So if you can see how much quicker this is than doing this. Oh, you know. So when you've got such a detailed die as this, honestly, that's when you use the brush one. So it's about having the right tool for the right job. I don't know if you can see there, but that is, oh, there we go. All of those. I'm trying to be tidy because I've hoovered. Normally Sammy does it, but I've done it this time. But this is the sort of die that I would look at and go, that ain't going to cut. Or if I'm up here, there's no way that's going to cut. But I'm just going to take it, I'm going to tape it down, and I'm going to run it through as normal. So I'm not, and I'll show you, this is my normal sandwich. So I'm not adding anything extra. My normal sandwich in the machine I'm using is a base plate. I have a metal shim, a piece of card. I don't know why I have that piece of carding. Always have. And my clear plate and that. So I want to show you that I'm not having to shim this to get this to give me the best sort of thing. So, there we go. But just to show you, look, every little bit of that is cut. I'm not missing any bit. Again, if you're concerned, or your machine's not as, I mean, I'm literally trying to find a bit here that I can show. There's a little bit that perhaps it's not as finished. You can always do the scissors over the back trick, but you don't need to with this. So yeah, Gabrielle's just said she's losing signal on and off. We are having some signal problems. My software is telling me that everything is fine, whereas from what I can see on Facebook, it is running slow. It's running a couple of minutes behind, and it is sort of sticking every now and again. There are big internet problems up here up north, so I'm hoping I'm hoping they're sorted before tomorrow's launch, because tomorrow night at 6 on here we're launching the next set of Christmas, and they're beautiful. We have put 3 videos out already, but they've only shown you 2. They've only shown you one of the dies, which is the Robin branch, which I am really nervous about, because this was one that Jane and I have been talking about doing a Robin for years, and it's taken me so long to get it and to get it to work. And to be honest, that I've done 3 of those. So I've got here samples for 3 different versions of that Robin branch we're launching tomorrow night. And 2 of them will never see the light of day. That was the one that worked, and it really worked. Shahab, Turkish Delight, although I love the Black Magic Man box of chocolates. Ooh. Emma, best Turkish Delight is from Turkey. I think, to be honest, I've bought it for both Sam and my mum, Emma, and I think they both like it, but they do seem to prefer the one that comes covered in chocolate from Fry's, I think. But can you see there? That's what I mean. That's not a piece I'd pre-cut. It's why I didn't want to have this one pre-cut, because I didn't want you to think, oh, well, yeah, of course, you know, you've got to, you know, it takes ages. That's been cut live. That's how good this die is. Whoever designed this, because normally on the packaging, it actually says whose design. Oh, it is. It's Precious. It's Precious Mareke. I could have guessed that, really. So, yeah, you can tell who's designed it. And, now looking at it, I think, yeah, that's definitely Precious. So that we've got that one. Now, of course, we could put some mirror card behind it. And let's go down so you can see properly. Sorry, you don't want to see what I'm looking at. There we go, that's better. So we can put mirror card behind it. So that's your blue. I'll take a piece of silver and I'll show you that. But you can see there all the shyness from the mirror card. So it's so detailed, but you're getting so much from it. But you're getting enough space. But the one I did with the lights, obviously if I put lights straight behind this, it's not going to work very well, is it? So what we do is, I'm going to add a little piece of acetate. So spray glue, using the spray box, John, because you've had to put up with fumes in here today, with you trying to get all the spray glue off the floor. Oh, Emma, I'm half Turkish Cypriot. My father was born in Cyprus. Ooh, I love Cyprus. Ooh, that's brilliant, Emma. Can you make phyllo pastry? And if so, can you tell me how? I'd love to make my own. That's really is sort of asking someone, oh, because you're from that country. It's like asking someone from England. I know you can make Yorkshire puddings brilliantly, can't you? Sorry. But what I've done there is I've put in a piece of vellum, and it's really cheap vellum. It's genuinely cheap vellum, and that's the perfect way. Yeah. So that's the perfect way to actually get the light showing without going too far. Now, I looked everywhere earlier and couldn't find any more lights. Now, I know I've got a box of them somewhere, and I thought, I know what will happen. I'll get inspired just before the show starts and remember where they are. And I didn't, but I have just found some in my bits and bobs drawer, so let's hope. Yay! They work. Yeah, so what I did for my original one was literally unwind it. Yvonne, to make sure I don't miss your lives, I'm going to set the alarm on my phone for 17:58 to make sure I get time to sit down. It's really easy. We've tried to, and I've got to say thank you to Peter and Jane because for keeping up with it. We have tried to make sure that we are every Wednesday and every Saturday at 6, so that you can be sure to catch us. So what Shahab said, beautiful card. The mandalas would make a Middle Eastern wedding card. Do you know, I thought that. I thought it's got a real beautiful mandala look to it that doesn't scream Christmas. Remember, a lot of Middle Eastern art, they won't use figurative things. So it has to be all built by patterns. So, you know, they will use patterns that we would think perhaps would be Christmassy. So all I'm doing is winding all of the lights round my fingers. Yeah. And then I'm going to take the end one and I'm just going to wrap it round to secure them. Okay. So that I've got a ring. And the reason for that is if you put these just randomly behind something like this, what's going to happen is they're going to pop up everywhere. Whereas if you make a ring like that, it's going to shine from the middle outwards. Yeah. So it's a great way to get the right look. It's what I've done on the packaging for one of last week's Christmas dies. On the Christmas dies, to ease the pressure on the website tomorrow, what will actually happen is that we will release a certain amount of stock for pre-order, probably around lunchtime, and we'll put a post out to let you know when that's happening, so that everyone's not hitting the website at the same time. So if it is something you think you're going to want, it is a beautiful bundle, but I know I'm supposed to say that. But if it is something that you think you might want, then what I would say is go on when we put the link out at lunchtime and get it early. Because Shahab said, my finger will be in the order button at 7:58 and pay now at 18:03. We're going to try and make it a little bit earlier as well. So we're going to make some stock, not all of it, available a little bit earlier, but we'll let you know. So, of course, that's beautiful. but I might want to introduce some colour. So what I'm going to do is just use, I've grabbed literally my alcohol pens. You could use pretty much anything for this. And all I'm going to do is colour the vellum behind. Can you see now? So that one's pink, yeah? So easy to do. Oh, Emma's only got 1 more week of work and then she's got 5 weeks of crafting. Oh, bless you, Emma. 5 weeks of crafting. It sounds like my idea of heaven and what most people think I do. I've actually had to spend a lot of time. I was up until about 11 last night drawing. Yeah, we all have to. So yeah, I don't get to just craft. So that sounds like heaven to me. Thinking no phone calls to answer, no shows to prep, no, videos to film. Just 5 weeks of just, oh yeah, would be heaven. 5 weeks of just crafting. So I've coloured those pink, but then when I show you through, let's try and put some mirror card in. Can you see there? Look, there we go. Look, it's pink. I'm then going with like a turquoisey blue because Shahab's encouraged me with saying Middle Eastern. And I thought, it's always jewel tones, but they do really beautiful. I remember when I went to Egypt, they do really gorgeous colours that almost are what you contrasting colours. And I thought, well, pink and blue, or pink and turquoise, would be lovely. So just colouring the back like that, nice and simple. You see there, look. Again, let's bring the mirror card in to show you. How clever does that look? As if we've been really, really clever. And of course we haven't. We really haven't. So I've got a yellow here. So I'm going to add a yellow around those bits and then the little bits in between. So even though it's delicate, by using a piece of vellum, we've been able to be relatively clever with it. There we go. A great technique. If you've got a die that cuts in like this, I think this is a fab technique to do. And then here I've got a really pale, a lot paler blue. So I'm going to pop that one in. But you see there, look, those colours shine. And then of course when I put the lights in, all the colours really, really shine. So I'm going to do this one. What somebody said. Funny, when we clean up ourselves, we keep it as clean as long as possible. Not quite so when everyone else does it. No, when Sammy's hoovered in here, I've been really quite naughty, to be honest. So can't remember how big this piece of card was. That's not like me. Was it 5.5? It's usually 5.5 or 5 3/4. It's a 5-inch die. So I'm going to go for a piece of silver at the same size of 5.5. And then I'm literally going to pop my piece down, put my lights in the centre. Yeah. Then take my foam tape. So make sure they're in the middle. And then the foam tape can help to seal them in. There we go. And if you put a little bit of silver behind it, it really helps with reflecting that light. But only do it when you've done something like this colouring. If you're just doing it clear, all you're going to see is bright light all the time, which we don't want. How lucky. Oh, how lucky is that? I got the scrap piece on the side just perfect for it. So, as I said, sorry guys, if it's running a little bit slow or it keeps freezing on you. I'm really hoping it's still working. I think mine's just frozen again. There we go. There we go. I think I'm back up. Yay. But now look, when I turn that on, it really shines. Let's just put those lights in the right place. See why I thought it was important, there we go, to get them right in the centre. But to show you, look. And if I turn the lights off, this shocks everybody. Look. You can actually see how much that actually does shine. But you're seeing those colours. So a brilliant technique and something to do. Now, my... my Facebook is telling me that it's finished. Whereas I believe that YouTube is still going. So no, it's quite late on that one. Let's see if I can sort this out. So sorry guys, I'm just checking to see if we are still running, because it is causing, I know that the internet has caused people lots and lots of problems. So apparently we are, but it's timing. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I am going to finish now. Hopefully, if you catch the end of this, you can watch it back on YouTube, and I will check that in the morning or later, and we'll put a link out to show that, because I don't want anyone to miss out on this. I will finish off this card, and then I will put that out as well on Facebook. If you are still watching and you've stuck with us through this, thank you. Hopefully it's sorted for tomorrow, because tomorrow night at 6 o'clock we launch the next in the John Next Door. There's only 3 dies, so that takes us to, what did we do? Did we do 4? We did 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that only leaves us 6 left of the whole Christmas collection this year, unless we do a later one, unless we add some in later. So the next 3 launch tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here live on The Art of Craft. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I'm sorry if it's been running funny because of the internet. We're all hoping that YouTube's recorded it properly. My software says it's all working, but I don't know what's going on with the internet, but we will try and get it sorted for tomorrow night.